Okay, maybe scoot forward a bit. All right. So this is our facilitation session for the mock. I am doing a session with my sister. Hello. So let's start. So today we're going to be covering the two categories of health and fitness and character. So we chose those two, or you chose those two. Out of all the 12 categories, because we've covered them all before, why did you choose those two? Like, why are they important to you?
Well, I chose character because I want to be a better person to those around me. And
Ooh, that's big.
health and fitness, I've noticed that I don't know how to cook. And whenever I do learn how to cook, I want to go in the right direction.
Okay, so what doors is cooking gonna unlock for you?
Well, I'd be able to help the family in itself more, and I'd also be able to provide for myself in terms of food, and be able to be in control of how good what I eat is.
Oh, that's huge. Okay, so cooking, I've figured I think that would go under your strategy for like a strategy you want to incorporate in your health and fitness. But I guess my question is, how is cooking gonna affect, say, like you went straight, so health and fitness, right? What are your beliefs in health and fitness? Like how did you get from, like why is health important to you? I know cooking, you want to cook, right? But why is that even important to you to begin with?
Well, that
Like,
way
is you just like feeling good, or?
yeah,
I mean,
to maintain the overall health of your body.
I got you.
Because you only have one.
That is true. That is true. Okay, so I guess we're gonna start with, beliefs. What do you think about health in general? I mean, do you feel like we as humans, that we're born to be well, or that, you know what I mean? I don't want to give you a leading question.
We only have one body, so we might as well take care of it. I mean, of course, it's good to have stuff like McDonald's.
Yeah,
every
for sure.
once in a while,
For sure.
But being able to control what you eat on the daily is also important.
Okay, so being in control sounds like really big in terms of if you want to have some McDonald's, you can have some McDonald's. If you want to be able to cook, okay, so it all goes back to, I guess, freedom, right? And then if you have your health, you have your freedom, right? Okay, I have a question for you. What's your vision when it comes to your health and fitness? Like where you are right now, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be?
Well,
like say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is.
I'm hoping that I can start playing volleyball so I can get some sort of like exercise in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I would like to be able, once I am able to get the basics of cooking down, to be able to more complex dishes, I guess. To try to help other people, I guess, get on be able to eat good food as well.
That's nice. So you have McDonald's sometimes, which is great, great. And then the volleyball too. Do you have any? You already have a plan on getting into like a league or like playing with friends or playing with family?
I've already discussed with mom and dad that what I'm gonna do next year for that.
Oh, that's gonna be super fun. Okay, so you have cooking, which is great. What's your strategy on the cooking though? Like, how are you gonna start? Because I'm not a great cook. We talked about it, but are you gonna watch YouTube videos? Are you gonna have someone who knows how to cook teach you? Like, what's your plan?
So I've already tried asking people who know how to cook, and no one's down to teach me. So I think I'm just gonna settle with how Ate learned.
Yeah.
By cooking videos on YouTube. Yeah.
Cooking videos on YouTube, and then you're just gonna practice that.
The only thing is I don't want to deal with raw meat on my own, so I'm thinking something without meat.
Yeah, because raw meat, you gotta deal with the.
Yeah, because if I do it raw, then that's detrimental to my health.
That's true. You could get sick and stuff. Okay, so that's great because what I'm hearing is volleyball for your exercise, whatever. That's super fun for you. You know, you watch it, you love it, and cooking. Are there any other aspects in terms of? I know there's basics, but like your sleep, how's your sleep, and how's, just how do you feel like on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I think honestly it kind of depends. On some days I'm more tired than others. My sleep schedule is pretty consistent, so don't think it really has to do with that.
Yeah. So you're thinking the cooking's gonna be huge, volleyball's gonna be huge, and then you can just work on whatever else from there. Yeah. That sounds like some great strategies, and it sounds like you know what you want to do there. Sounds like you got some pretty powerful beliefs. Basically, we have one body, we have one temple, and you use it and take care of it. For sure. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go to the next category.
Mm-hmm.
So character. Um, Again, why is it so important to you?
Character is important to me because I want to be able to control how I am around others and around myself. Because I never feel good if I walk away from a situation knowing that what I did wasn't exactly the best I could have done, or if if I am mean to someone I didn't mean to be.
Right. Like, makes you feel bad, or what would you say?
Yeah.
It feels like I wish I could have done better, kind of thing.
I just don't want to, I guess, upset or burden others around me or myself. So I think character is always a good thing to work on.
That's awesome. Okay, let's start from the beginning of character. I think that's very strong. So what are your beliefs in terms of, do you believe that we're fully, you know how we were talking about with health and fitness? It basically went back to freedom, right? You can cook, and then it gives you the freedom that opens all these doors. You play volleyball, right? So with character, you're right, it all starts with beliefs. Like, when we talk about your beliefs and character, do you believe that everyone has complete control and are able to forge their character, in other words?
I think.
Or do you feel like they're, like, what are your beliefs, just in terms of character and what it, yeah?
I think with enough, like, effort and practice, one can, like, create new habits and, I guess, get rid of old ones. Of course, everyone's human. We'll all make mistakes, but some others make less than others. That was a little redundant.
It's okay. It's okay. Just speak your mind. Okay. So I think the big things I heard there, did you say effort, practice, habits? So basically you're saying practice.
I always try to keep myself in check, but it doesn't always work the best since I'm subjective as I am myself.
Yeah, of course. But you hold yourself to high standards, it sounds like to the standards that you hold.
Yeah, it makes me even more upset if I notice that someone else didn't like how I was towards them, or if I wasn't like the best I could be to someone else.
And like,
or if
in whatever way that is, right? It could be like if you were disrespectful, you didn't realize it, or they think you're late. Like, you want to be able to be awesome. Okay, and so that goes perfectly into what is your vision for your character. Like, do you feel like you've improved in the past, whatever, and like where do you see your, like, what are there certain character traits that you want to work on? Because that would be huge if you're able to name, like, say, being, I don't know.
I notice that if I stop like paying attention to what I'm doing, or if I get a little upset, I tend to get like a little loud and heated, and say things that I don't really mean. So I want to work on that, being more like aware of what I'm saying in that kind of situation.
So when that happens, is it that you just feel like a little overwhelmed? Is that what it is?
When I get overwhelmed, I don't have very good control of how I express myself.
You know what
and it usually comes off negative, so.
You know what I think, because we're talking about your vision for your character. This will go in the strategy section, but it's all connected. I think a great vision is to just keep on working on being able to handle more, right?
Yeah,
so you don't
increase your capacity.
Yeah, exactly, and we talk about that, right? It's because as human beings, we all deal with overwhelm, but then the ultimate antidote to overwhelm is practice, right? Because that way you can always just keep improving. And I think what's happening, of course you're my sister, but you can always tell me what you think, is when you get overwhelmed, that's when everything else kind of goes awry.
Yeah,
right? Like, you kind of lose your patience, you might snap, or you might be a little disrespectful because it's just too much for you.
See,
is that accurate or not really? Okay. So I think we already talked about your purpose for character, like why you want to be awesome, you want to, well, actually, we didn't really, we talked about making people proud or whatever. Like, what would you say your biggest motivation is? Is it because you just want to be awesome, or is it you want to...
I'm tired of, like, being, I guess, something that doesn't make someone else happy when they see me. Because I want to be able to not bring someone down when I see them. So, like, if mom comes home from work, I don't want to, like, have a bad attitude, even though that's not how I intend to portray myself.
You want to be able to, like, her to be happy when she sees you. Is that basically what I'm hearing?
Instead of, like...
more drained, or like...
I don't want to drain her rubber the wrong way.
Oh, or anytime you feel like you're being... I don't want to use the word burden, but just like that you're not being helpful
No burdens.
or a delight, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Instead
I get that.
of leaving a negative impression on someone, I'd rather not do that.
You know, the beauty about character is one of my favorite things about this category is that as you continue to grow and evolve, like you get to keep that with you forever. Like
yeah,
so
which is why I thought that would be a category. Once you get it down, it's gonna stick with you forever. So
that's beautiful.
it'd be worth it to work on it.
Okay, to end this one, I think let's go a little deeper on your strategies because, again, with health and fitness, you know, strategy is where the rubber hits the road in the sense that, like, you actually practice these habits and you're going to see that positive change in your life. So we saw the cooking and the volleyball, which I'm excited for you. On the strategies with the character, what are your, because we've talked about you want to be more, you want to be able to handle more, have a greater capacity. We know that all takes practice. And that's where the strategy comes in, right? So how do you plan to practice the character traits that you want to make a habit in your life? Does that make sense?
I've actually,
Yeah.
I already have a method for that I've been
Oh,
working
you do?
on.
That's awesome. What
I've
is it?
noticed that I would just write a random phrase or something on my arm, or even just, or not in my arm, but on like my wrist, that or my hand that I'd usually see. Just anything, a symbol or anything that when I look at it, I'll think to whenever I wrote it and why, and I'll be like, oh, it was to remind myself, you know, watch yourself, I guess.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you have any specific character traits? I know we kind of covered this, but like for example, some you could be like, I am a patient person, or I am responsible, or I am prompt, right? Whatever it is that you want. Are there specific words that you want to practice?
Yes, I'd actually. I'm not very patient with our nephews.
Oh yeah, our nephews.
Specifically,
Eli.
Yeah, Eli, because he's younger and he's like 5, but I still am not good at handling that.
For sure.
And then whenever I can't take it, I'm just kind of I'm like basically, here, you take care of the child, and I don't really want to have to do that because.
So patience is one. That's
Patience
great.
is one.
How about like, let's think about like day-to-day stuff. So I guess patience is one.
Yeah,
What?
respect as well.
Respect.
See, because I feel as if I'm respectful, but everyone around me tells me otherwise. So there's obviously something wrong there.
Yeah. You know what I think a great strategy to do is getting constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Right? And really staying open to it. When you stay open to the constructive feedback, you can hear people, try to be as objective as you can. And then you're like, okay, so this is how I come across. I want to improve. I want to work on it. So what can I do to improve? So let's talk about, so respect, for example. I mean, just from my experience, I think a lot of, like you said, it is practice, but it's got to be super intentional. It's like you got to stay aware in the moment. So it's like anytime, because respect, right? You think so much about that word, or patience with Eli. So if you're with Eli, your primary intention can be, oh, I want to be as patient as possible with our little nephew, right? He's a handful. Or whenever mom and dad come home, you can be like, oh, I want respectful to be the first thing they think, that's what I want to embody, right? Or if say you have a lot of stuff like your math packet to do after this, be like, I want to be super diligent, super productive, super focused, right? It's beautiful. You can use that in any scenario. So, yeah, if you think of any more strategies, that's awesome. But I think that's a good place to end character. So, health and fitness, that was great. Character, great. If we were to do another session, we could do maybe intellectual life and emotional life, or we can go from there. But say if this were, I know it's a mock session, but yeah, that's what we would do. You'd have homework, you'd watch the videos, I'd keep you accountable. Actually, this 100% true. I will keep you accountable. Okay, that's part of it. About the cooking, right? I'll try to help you. Not that I'm a great cook, but I'll keep you accountable in terms of you being able to actually get to where you want to go, which is being able to cook.
You can make mac and cheese.
I can make mac and cheese. I can make some basic food. That's true. And I'll keep you accountable because that would be awesome if you could start playing volleyball.
Yeah, Mom and Dad said I could start like whenever the season starts.
When you say season, when does it
Like,
start?
I'm not sure really, but I'm gonna be on the same team that Ate was. Not
Oh,
team,
cool.
but the same place.
The same, like the BA Main Street?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's exciting. And then on your character, I'll just, yeah, I'll keep you accountable there, like, because I know what you're working on. And, you know, I live with you for the most part, and I'm your brother. And so, you know, it also makes me very happy when I see that you're improving as a person. I mean, that's a point of it, right? We're all doing the best we can. I think you're doing great. Yeah. And thank you for doing the session with me.
Of course.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I think we got a lot out of it.
I feel like I got stuff out of that too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have talks like this pretty often,
Frequently,
but wanting to do it in the, you know, the format of being able to go deep in the two categories. So we'll leave it at that, and yeah, that's good. Thank you.